self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists, back for another episode. Just want to let y'all know a few things. Go to www.conversationconartists.com to check out our new stories attached to our new episode, as well as our old episodes, as well as being able to leave some feedback for us. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at red_calamity. Also, we are still doing the listen letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it into the website, or you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com. We have two questions this week. First being, if you could create a holiday, what holiday would you create?
This is a very difficult question. What would you create?
National Take Your Dog to Work Day.
What?
So I could take my dogs with me.
That holiday is ass.
Why?
I don't know. You should just get a job where you could bring your dog with you.
What job would that be?
I don't know. Fucking work at a fucking dog sitting service or some shit.
No. You had to take your kid to work. I think that's discriminatory. I ain't got no fucking kids.
Well, kids are more, not
They
necessarily.
don't do that shit, nigga. Well, you finna say they more obedient? Because that's bullshit. My dogs are more obedient than most of these people's children.
I don't know. You just deal with the bullshit ass kids. And I do too.
I feel like them would be the kids folks would be bringing to work with them too. I bring my dogs to work.
I wouldn't bring my kids to work on a bring your kid to work day.
Why?
No way. What you mean?
Why wouldn't you bring your kid to work with you?
Why would I want to? It's not mandatory to bring your kids here today.
It's not mandatory.
I want to show my kids off.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
I don't understand. Something gonna
I
be
don't
wrong
know why
with your
bring
kids?
your kids to work day exists. What's the purpose?
Show your kids what you do, to be able to show your kids off to the people that you work with, if they're depending on how old they are, so that they can see what a typical work day look like. There's a lot of things. What you mean?
I make you so uncomfortable.
Why?
I'll introduce my kids, my coworkers, as the young gentleman or young lady that used to live in my scrotum.
Why would you do that?
Because I want my kid at work with me no way.
Just don't bring their ass. You ain't gotta embarrass
That's what I'm
them.
saying. Why in the world? I don't know why people want to bring their kids.
I just gave
Like, just
you
raise
some
your
reasons.
kids and make them great members of society, so that they can create some shit, create some articles I can read, take care of me, repair my car. That'll be enough. I don't want to see them at work.
It's one day. Probably had pictures of their little asses hanging up anyway. You gonna see them anyway. Never mind. You probably wouldn't have.
And be like, is that the one your wife cheated on you and got pregnant with?
Oh, no.
Don't bring your kids to work if I work with you and tell me all of your secrets.
Oh my God. What holiday would you create?
I don't know. I have to create a holiday surrounding deliciousness.
Okay.
It don't have to be like, for me, I want it to be something free.
Oh yeah.
Like free ribs day. Like everybody get a voucher for ribs, some good barbecue.
Yeah.
And you can take it to wherever sell barbecue, and they're gonna have the most delicious ribs set up, because you know what? Everybody take free ribs day serious. And they make the best ribs they've ever made, and they make sure it's tender.
Best ones? Because they're giving it away for free.
Yes.
So.
Because it's a marketing ploy. It's like, you're going to find out where the most delicious ribs at.
It wouldn't be the whole
there.
day though, because they have like National Donut Day, and then it's only for like between these hours where you can go. Or they had fucking National Cheesecake Day at Cheesecake Factory, and I was so motherfucking mad because I was gonna go I eat cheesecake a little bit at a time. I can't eat a lot. I can't eat a whole slice, but I was gonna go get some. This shit, you had to eat it in. You couldn't get it to go. You had to dine in to eat it. And it was only between these like stupid ass hours. Like, I was so mad. I was like, that's don't even do it then. You're gonna put all these strict ass parameters on the shit. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Now I can't make it to the fucking 280 from my job, order some cheesecake, sit down in there and eat it and make it back in an hour. I can't do that. There's no way. I could go get it and bring it back with me though. That's what I was planning on doing, but it was dine in only.
What if there was a purge day?
No, I don't.
Why not?
No.
That's a holiday.
No.
In my world that I created.
I mean, they had the purge on Rick and Morty too, and one of them alternate universe. I don't want to get purged. What you mean? Like, cause I wouldn't be out running around killing folks. I would be in my house. I had to be one of the people boarding up shit, trying to keep me safe for 24 hours. That don't sound like fun to me. That don't sound like a holiday. That sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like it's awful. I think the purge would only be something that somebody would want if they were actually going to be killing folks. Because otherwise, you're just victims. You're just a victim of it.
I feel like a lot of people going to go out and carry out crimes they wanted to carry out. Like kill their husbands. Like Rick and Morty and the actual Purge movies make it seem like it's just a lot of random killing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it is, and maybe it would be if it existed.
If you think about it, if you were like a not a pedophile, if you were a psychopath, that'd be beautiful for you. You go around just killing people without having to suffer the consequences. So you would just be killing random ass people. Or these kids that start out killing cats. Oh, I can upgrade to a person now, and I ain't even gonna get in trouble for it.
What? How was a kid even gonna do that?
What you mean? The same way they kill cats, they'll figure it out.
No, they won't figure it out.
You don't think so?
One, they gotta be a kid that'll have access to some kind of gun or weapon, which means they're gonna have to get it from their parent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they not gonna a kid not just gonna run up and just murk somebody without a surprise.
But a psychopath plan. So if the purge was a holiday, you telling me the kid can be hoarding stuff, like taking steak knives, the parents ain't gonna notice one knife, and just making a little pile for when the day come so that they could go out. Please, these kids, first of all, kids are smart as fuck. Secondly, a psychopath is also very intelligent, and if that's what they want to do, the same way they murder cats and shit in the neighborhood.
If it was a purge holiday, I make my services available. Like if you want to hide, go ahead. But if you want your husband killed, if you want your baby mama took care of, if you want somebody took care of, call your boy. Call Mr. On Point.
So you gonna be out here purging people on behalf of other folks?
Why not?
Cause then the next year when the purge happen, all of the family members of all of the people that you kill gonna be trying to purge your ass.
I ain't said I'm gonna do this shit like as myself. Put on a Daredevil mask out here. That's how they do on the purge.
Oh yeah, they did have a mask.
Yeah, give me a Batman mask or something. Cut my beard.
How would you get payment?
How would I get payment before the purge happened?
But I would say, how would you get payment without them knowing it was you? Like, would you accept cash only? They had to drop it off somewhere?
Buy me some Bitcoins. Shit, send me some Bitcoins. That's how we'll do that. We'll pay me on the black market. That's how we work that out.
I don't think that I would be able to kill somebody. I've never even been angry at anybody enough to want to take their life. So I'm pretty sure I would be inside hiding and shit from all you crazy motherfuckers out here murdering folks. That don't sound like a holiday I would want either part.
I have my hands around somebody's neck like this ain't personal at all.
That makes you a psychopath.
I'm not a psychopath.
Yes, it does. If you able to kill somebody and be completely removed from it, just doing it on behalf of somebody, you killing complete strangers and just being like, it ain't person.
I'm just saying what I think. Might not happen like that.
I could kill them.
I might be like, I can't do this. What was I thinking? I thought I was a murderer. Crying.
Ooh, a free like day where you could take. I mean, this goes back. I'm just mad that kids get a lot of stuff and dog owners don't get shit. A day where you can take your dog to the vet for free. Like they do all of these like shit before school for these kids. They can go get shots and all of this shit taken care of with no charge to the parents. Feel like it should be a day like that for dogs. Let me take Fido in here and get his shots for the year. You know how much that shit costs? You have any idea how expensive yearly shots is if you're a responsible pet owner? And I got 2 of them now.
You did that to yourself.
I sure did, but still. So do people who go out here and procreate. They do it to themselves, yet we help them all the time with shit. They chose to have those children. So I feel like I chose to have my dogs.
But the children are humans.
So? Give a shit about them
You
kids.
went and picked dogs out.
Doesn't matter.
You didn't have to go pick them dogs out.
You didn't have to go and have a baby.
But once you had a baby, it came from you, and it's your legal responsibility to take care of it.
The dog is, if one of these dogs go out here and do some bullshit, I am legally responsible. If they bite somebody, I am legally responsible. Shit, I took him to the dog park today. It's a big ass sign that say, anything your dog does, you are responsible for. I'm still responsible for them.
You could also take your dogs to Nowhereville, Georgia, drop them off in a damn park and drive away and come home and pretend like you never had dogs.
You
and
can
nobody
do that
will
with
ask
your
a question.
kids. You can put them, take them down to DHR and relinquish custody.
No,
of
you
them.
can't.
Yes, you
that
can.
shit ain't that easy.
But you can.
No.
You
not
can.
without consequences. Not without, you're going to have to pay the state child support.
Do you have to pay the state child support?
You have to pay the state child support if you relinquish custody for no reason.
Huh.
They always, or it's an empty ass threat that the DHR lawyers always saying to keep parents from doing that, you know. But don't nobody want to pay for something they ain't got.
Well, and plus, it's not, when you relinquish custody, you're not legally responsible for it. That's what you're saying. If you getting your rights to that child terminated, then I don't understand how you would then have to pay child
You give
support.
them to another person, that's the case. If you give them to the state, that is not the case.
But sometimes the state will terminate your rights just because you were a shit ass parent, and you don't pay child support for the child once your rights have been terminated.
But that's a termination of rights. That's different than relinquishing custody.
Ain't the outcome the same?
Mm-mm. Because when parents get their rights terminated, most of the time they still seeking custody of their kids. They just didn't complete whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't stop doing drugs, or they didn't finish counseling, or they didn't do whatever was supposed to be done. And so they still going to try to get custody of their kids, you know. But the courts can still make those parents pay child support to the foster family or the family member that they go to. In an agreement, it won't be because they are the custodians. So, so would you participate in a reverse slavery day? Like, if you could choose 5 white people to be a slave and they had to do it, let's say they had like a collar on their neck for that day, and if they didn't do it, like Suicide Squad, the head will explode.
No, that actually isn't very appealing to me. Like,
what if it wasn't like that level of slave? What if people doing stuff for you?
I still that would be uncomfortable. Like, I feel like that would be weird. I don't understand how people did that shit before. Like, I feel like it takes a real depraved ass person to be able to look at somebody like property and just make them do shit for you and not look at them like humans. Like, I don't think I would actually be able to do that. Like, I feel like shit, I don't need like people that I know doing shit for me. It makes me feel weird. So, like, I don't think I would want to participate in that.
I wouldn't either.
I don't think it would. I feel like, you know, the reason why they were able to do that is because they looked at us like we weren't, you know, they ain't see it as like fucking up with humans or people. We weren't people. We were like property. I feel like it's easier if you can have that kind of mentality, but I don't look at people like that. So I don't think I would be able to like do it. They just be chilling in my house. They probably wouldn't be doing shit. They just be there.
I don't even think white people will let that happen, bro. They kill all our ass.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bop, bop, bop.
Yeah.
All of us will be gone.
Pretty much.
Well, if it ain't nobody to enslave us, I guess this day won't make a difference then, huh? That's what happened with that.
Okay. Second question. Would you let one of your friends, or would you mind one of your friends dating an ex of yours?
I definitely wouldn't give a friend permission to date one of my exes. Like, if they asked me, then the answer gonna be no. If by a series of events at some point I realize one of my friends and my ex done got together, then I ain't gonna have a fit about it.
I don't think None of my. So okay. So the way me and my female friends operate, I can't say this for all women because women, our friends do this, I guess, to each other. I don't know how much of friends they really are, but my friends usually hate my fucking exes because of the bullshit that they did or like the way that we broke up. So like they hate them niggas more than I do because I don't really give a shit. Like after a while, I'm real detached from folks.
Mm-hmm.
They usually are way more upset about shit than me, like it happened to them. So it would be really odd for me if one of them even came up and was like, hey, can such and such ask me out, would you mind? I just can't imagine that ever happening because they get so mad about, like, way more angry than I do because I don't know, I'm my attacher is broken. So I detach from people like completely 100%. I don't give a fuck about you no more. While my friends are still upset. Like, to this day, it's still people that I've dated that they be like, fuck that nigga if I even bring him up. Like, what that fuck nigga do? Like, they are super upset. So, it would be weird for me. Like, that would be odd because they don't like them most of the time.
So, were they to ask you, they found him, he's changed, they kind of like who that is, then what would your response be?
I don't even think I would give a fuck. I really don't. Because here's the thing. One, you already saw what this nigga's capable of. You want to go out there and roll the dice, bitch? Good for you. Two, I can't even explain the phenomenon of, like, I don't care about people. Like, it's like a light switch. When that switch goes in the off position, I really don't give a fuck. Like, not even the tiniest bit. Like, I could walk in on one of my exes fucking my best friend. I'd probably be more mad at her, but as far as like being hurt about him, I don't give a shit about that shit. I don't give a fuck about you no more. Like, when I care a lot. When I don't care, it is beyond apathy. It's like, I don't even know. I'm actually trying to work through this shit now because it's a little unhealthy, I think. I just don't. It's like nothing. It's like being in a white room, just nothingness. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Don't matter.
There's a level to which your friends are expected to respect you. So if you did catch your ex messing with your best friend, then like the only person you're really supposed to be concerned with is the best friend.
But I mean, most people wouldn't. Like, I don't know. I don't necessarily think anything is wrong with the way that I detach from people. I think it's probably what we're supposed to do, but like emotions don't really allow people to do it normally. Like, I can't even, like, I wish I just tried this weekend trying to explain this to somebody. It is literally like the most apathetic feeling ever. Like, it's nothing. Like, I don't feel shit. Nothing. Once the switch is off, and it would be cool if I had control over it, but I don't. At some point, my give a fuck run out, and I don't have any more left, and it's just nothing now. And I don't really have control over it. I'll just literally one day look up and be like, oh, okay. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. So apparently it's a defense mechanism that was put in place in my younger years is what has been established.
Yep.
But it's I can't even explain it. Like, I really don't give, like, it does not matter to me. I don't care. Like, thinking about that relation, you know how sometimes you think about it and you have like these regrets or these, like, I don't have none of that shit. Like, I don't care. Which is a problem when shit don't work out, and then like if the ex comes back and is like, hey, we should try again, it ain't gonna happen. I don't even look at them the same. I don't find them attractive anymore. Like, it's nothing. No backsies. Basically.
You never gave anybody a second chance that did you wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
Because there's one dude that didn't do you wrong. You kind of just treat him like an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he shouldn't give you a second chance.
Yeah, he probably will. He 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chances. He probably, but that's what I'm saying. Like that shit that he do, it would never be me. I would never do that shit. I would never let somebody treat me how I treated him. I was doing it on purpose though, trying to get him to leave me the fuck alone. It didn't even work.
Well, you should have used your words.
I did use my words.
You should have used your words more aggressively. You said, I don't want to be with you. And he said, yes, you do. And then you was like, I'm going to treat you like shit. And then you start treating him like shit.
Because if somebody tell you and you don't want to listen, okay, I can show you. I can fucking tell you. Like, what is wrong with you? Leave me alone. I'm not interested. I'm cool. I'm good. He just was not. He wasn't gonna check me enough. I didn't like that. Like I could say, hey, let's go out and murder some people. And he'd be like, that's wrong, but okay, let's do it. Like he would agree with whatever the fuck I said. I don't like that shit. I'm wrong a lot of the time. I need you to be able to be like, no, you need to sit the fuck down. He was not capable of doing that.
Oh, okay.
So I can't deal with that. Like, don't be agreeing with me all the time. My dogs don't even do what I tell them to do all the fucking time.
Because they are dogs.
What you mean?
They are not humans.
You can train a dog to do what you tell them to do. My dogs just don't give a fuck.
No, you can train dogs to respond to commands.
Yeah.
But they don't understand what the hell you talking about.
But I'm saying they don't even respond to my commands all the damn time. And I don't get like I don't want a yes man. I don't need you to just agree with me or if I say I want something, you just get. If it's not in the best interest of what the fuck we trying to do, don't get it. That's stupid. You need to be like, no, Red, no, ma'am. He was not capable of that. I cannot stand that shit, like, at all. I don't need you to be argumentative, but I do need you to call me out if I'm fucking wrong. Like, you need to tell me that shit. I need to be able to trust that if I'm doing some shit I don't need to do, that you're going to be like, hey, sit the fuck down.
You're looking for a very specific type of person that is very hard to find. Somebody who is not a yes man and not argument. Like, the further you get away from a yes man, the more you getting into he gonna be argumentative.
I'm not saying that you can't be argumentative. I'm just saying you don't necessarily have to, because like some people, I ain't finna argue with nobody. You don't necessarily have to be argumentative. I just need you to be able to, I won't even say stand up to me. I just need you to tell me if I'm wrong. Just tell me if I'm wrong. Now, will I accept that you tell me that I'm wrong? Sometimes. Or sometimes I might try to argue you down again. You need to be prepared for those outcomes.
So what you're saying is you want somebody who is going to challenge you.
Yep.
But you're going to challenge their challenge.
Yes.
So what you essentially need is somebody that can accept you challenging their challenge.
Yes.
That's a very specific type of person that is going to be very hard to find.
Why? Why is that something hard to find? I don't understand.
Because men is men.
What is that?
That's why.
What do you mean?
Men got that ego. They got that testosterone. They got that pride. Mm-mm. So you're talking about having a man with a compromised level of those things in order to let you have it every now and then, but not be the kind of person.
You need to be secure enough in yourself. That is how I would describe that. You need to be secure enough in yourself where you're able to call me out on my shit, but also let me have it sometime. Like, you man enough to just allow that shit from time to time. That's what you need to be, secure enough in yourself. I don't need nobody that's prideful or I'm the man, so this how that shit go. That is not gonna work with me. We would not get along.
Misogyny ain't gonna work with you.
Hell no.
Sexism ain't gonna work with you. Mm-mm. So you're gonna have a man that ain't got none of that shit.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they out there. They're not I don't know that they're the majority, but they're out there. But yeah, I can't. So yeah, I said all that to excuse me treating him like shit. I will say this. I did try to just end it. And when I tell you, this nigga would not stop. Like, I would go home, and my mom did not help. I would go home at Christmas time, and it's gifts from this nigga. And I'm like, what is oh, he dropped it off? Why did you let him drop it off? You know we not together. We didn't talked about this. Stop encouraging this shit. I'm never gonna get rid of him if you don't stop this. Like, it went on for years. Like, it took me so long to get him to leave me the fuck alone. Like, I'm not even joking when I say years. Like, and every time I thought, like, I ain't heard from him in a while, every time I would be like, okay, good, he finally got it, we good. He would pop back up. It's been about a year now, so I think I'm in the clear. But he was not going to let that shit go. He was determined that we was going to get married and have 2.5 children and live happily ever after. And it was just not going to happen. Was not in the cards. Was not in the cards.
I gotcha.
So, yeah.
I gotcha, ma'am.
I don't even know how the fuck I got there. Where was the question? Oh, I completely forgot how we even got here. But yeah, so I would be more upset with a friend than, like, I don't care about exes. Like, I don't. Once you're my ex, or I ain't even gonna say that. Like, if I'm interested in you and you let me know that you ain't interested in me at some point, I'm not gonna give a fuck about you. I'm not. Because I'm not going to keep investing shit. Like, that's, I don't know. Again, it isn't even something that I control. Like, I'll just look up one day and just not give a shit about you. It's just how it works. And I know it's to preserve my feelings and to preserve myself. But, like, I don't know. Sometimes it feels unhealthy as shit. I don't know. Like, it feels, like, cold.
Well, if it feels unhealthy, then it got to be unhealthy if you feel that it's unhealthy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Other people think it's amazing and they wish they could do it. Like, I could give lessons on it. I don't even know how I do it. It just over time, I just don't give a
because
fuck.
it's not like just a neutral.
No.
It's the complete opposite of love, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't hate them. I don't.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily think the opposite of love is hate. I think the opposite of love is really indifference.
Okay. Well, indifference
You know what I'm
is
saying?
a good description. I'm very indifferent. Like, I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. I don't care. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I just don't give a shit.
I think the opposite of giving your all into somebody is giving absolutely nothing and no consideration. I think that's indifference. Hate is another thing.
Yeah.
But
I'm either all or nothing. Like, literally all or nothing.
I leave all of my jobs and relationships in a way that I might be able to get them back one day. I know that's not the case because people move on, but I'm just saying that to emphasize how I don't burn bridges. I'm friends with everybody that I've dated.
I'm friends with them too. The reason why I'm able to be friends, I think it's that indifference. Like, I don't care. So if you want to talk to me about who you dating now, we can do that because I don't give a shit. Like, I really don't care. So, like,
this is even with the people that have wronged you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, I literally don't care. So, it's like one exception. Everybody else that I've dated, they still will call me from time. Like, I don't care. And we've talked about the new people that they dating and my feelings they ain't heard. I don't give a shit. Like, it don't matter to me. So the indifference, again, indifference is a good word because it's not like I can't stand to be around you. I'm cool with them. Like, I don't give a shit. Now, again, the problem has been one or two of the cases where as time has gone by and maybe they matured or whatever the fuck case may be, and now they're like, let's try again, and I'm like, nigga, no. I'm good, thanks.
Well, after explaining what you explained, I don't know if I'd call what I am with my exes friends so much as we still have a positive relationship. Because I ain't calling them up and talking to them about shit going on in our life now.
Yeah. No, I
it ain't that kind of situation. I ain't saying I can't do that, but like that is, I don't think that's something a lot of people do anyway. Like, you have to have some specific people in your life that you didn't. Well,
and most of them, I'm like one of the only people in their life like that, where it's like somebody they dated that they cool with now. Like, that's not usually how that goes. And so I've had one or two of them be like, this is the weirdest fucking relationship I've ever had because of that. Mm-hmm. Because I don't care. Like, it don't matter to me. I don't Because I don't feel anything where you're concerned, like romantically at all. So, listening to you go on about your dates and shit, it don't hurt me because I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me. So just to clue in to anybody, if we dated or whatever the fuck, and you able to talk to me about who you dating, I'm at the point where I don't give a fuck about you. Just FYI, I don't care. It doesn't matter. So, and there's ain't no backsies. It is what it is. So, and the only reason I think it's unhealthy is just the extent to which it is. Like, it just kind of feels, or maybe it's because I have an expectation that I should be like everybody else, where where it isn't that complete disconnect. Like, I think that's probably more what it is. I don't feel like anybody else does this, and so that makes it feel a little unhealthy to me.
I don't know. It don't sound that unhealthy, to be honest.
Just weird.
It's just not within the norm.
Yeah. But, yeah. I guess we answered that question in a roundabout. We did something. Anyhow, if you have a question you would like for us to answer in a roundabout way, you can send it into the website, or you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com. Mary J. Blige, the government. She's the next celebrity in the long list of folks who ain't paying their fucking taxes.
Gotta pay your taxes, people.
I don't understand that shit. Like, if I ever come into some money, that is gonna be the one thing I'm not gonna leave to chance. I'm not gonna just leave. I'm gonna need you to show me. If you my money man, I'm gonna need you to show me where you fucking paid this shit, like, every year. Because I'm not finna come to a point. I think hers is like $6.5 million that I owe at one time, when I could have been paying this shit over the years and it been in smaller increments. Like, that's crazy as shit. No. There's no way. Like, why are y'all not paying y'all fucking taxes?
Because the IRS, they leave too much wiggle room.
But I don't want your wiggle room. If I keep seeing all these celebrities like owing these I ain't even finna try to wiggle shit. Let me just pay what I owe. However much that is, let me just do that. Because I don't want this. I don't want these kind of problems. Because and most of the time, it's when the person ain't that popular no more. It ain't in the height of their career that this tax shit come up. It's when they ain't as popular. And now you got to come up with $6.5 million off top to give to the IRS. Like, that's crazy as shit.
I mean, maybe it's a plot.
$6.5 million. $6.5 million in back taxes between the years of 2008 and 2016.
I wonder what her tax rate is.
I don't know, but she got to pay $30K to her Kendu, and now she got this shit.
Well, what this means is that if she in a 35% tax bracket and $6.5 million is 10% of what she made, then we still talking about $180 million that she done made. I mean, if you can't pay $6.5 million out of $180 goddamn million,
that's what I'm saying. Why not just pay the shit? But that's a span
of that many years. But that's still a lot of money from that period of time.
Yeah,
that is a lot of money. Like, I owe money to the IRS, but my issues are way different than that. Like, I ain't got $180 million that I'm trying to
just keep to myself and not pay my taxes. Like,
I promise you, that ain't the situation I got going on. If she making $180 million in that period of time, I ain't got no empathy for her ass. Pay that shit or go to jail. Matter of fact, IRS, come get her ass ASAP.
She gonna be like Lauryn Hill doing these concerts and ain't gonna see none of the money. She got to pay it right to the IRS. Just pay these fucking folks. Like, and I don't want to hear, somebody else is probably over it or in charge of it. Again, if I become a millionaire tomorrow, one of the things on the top of my list to make sure that I take care of my fucking self, or to make sure has been taken care of every year, is this tax shit. Because I'm not finna be this. I'm not finna be Mary J. I'm not finna be Lauryn Hill. I'm not finna be Wesley Snipes. I'm not finna be none of these folks. I'm gonna go ahead and pay this shit and just be done with it. because that's easier than you years later after you ain't at the, making the kind of money you were making at that time. Now I gotta come off $6.5 million to give to you. Fuck out of here. That's crazy. And then she paying $30,000 a month. What is that a year? Times 12?
300,000, 360,000
every year. Or I don't know how long she got to pay Ken do that. Not sure.
That is not. If she making $180 million in that little time, don't even feel bad for her about Kendu. To be honest, $30,000
a month. For I don't know how long. Is it the course of his lifetime?
It ain't his whole life. I mean, if he get into a relationship, they ain't gonna make her pay for his family or no shit like that. It's a period of time. I think they come up with that at the court. I think it's different every time. But I don't feel bad for people who rich and evading taxes. Pay that shit.
Pretty
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's plenty of ways you can do. Like, you can make a pay my taxes concert and make $6.5 million or a tour.
All that money go to the taxes.
You can do a tour. Like Mary J. put together a tour. Get over your damn tears. You're not gonna cry. Get that shit out the way. Cry. Get it out the way. Then go on your tour.
Yeah.
Make that money. Pay your taxes. Clearly, the money that you make there is going to accrue more taxes that you got to pay. But it'll just be a quarter of that. You'll be fine. Pay that shit. I don't feel bad for you.
I mean,
I'm out here. I owe the IRS. I owe loans.
Yep.
My job pay me decent, but not enough to pay off all these taxes.
Yep.
I mean, I have a history of making mistakes on my taxes because I was doing TurboTax, and so a couple of times, boom, something done popped up on me saying, "Hey, yours." What was it last time? Like $2,000.
Damn.
Yeah, like yours $2,000. I'm like, damn.
In broke nigga terms, that's a lot of money.
Exactly. Like, oh my God.
$2,000.
Gotta pay that. You know, and that's why I've been telling people lately, look, get you a tax person.
Yeah.
Just get you a tax person. I wouldn't even say go to like what is it? H&R Block?
H&R
I'm finna say H.H.
Grade.
Go to H&R Block, man. Just get you an individual tax person that you deal with, and do not go to those people in the hood that say we will get you this much refund. God. Because what they do is they fill in all kind of crazy information to get you a whole bunch of money back. And you know what? When the IRS come and tell you, hey, what happened? You gonna say these people, they business ain't there no more. You don't know their names. They put in fake information, and you got a big return back, but the IRS want that money back with interest.
And you been out here balling out of control and ain't even got the money.
Yeah, don't go to them people. I mean, they promise a lot, but if you get audited, then the IRS will fuck you.
Yep.
And
no lube.
None. When the IRS fuck you, they the booty warrior out here.
Oh my God.
Of getting your ass.
I hate you.
They are. I mean, it ain't no other way to put it. The IRS, when you rub them wrong, they coming at you. So don't go to them bootleg tax folks on the side, but get you a tax person. That'll be real beneficial.
I'm trying to remember that hood one in Montgomery that was real popular. Had them ghetto ass commercials around tax time. Damn, what was the name of that? Oh my God, they had the hoodest commercials ever. I cannot remember.
I think it's a family in Montgomery that got indicted for that.
Probably did.
Millions and millions, like millions of dollars that they were stealing from the IRS.
Probably the ones
taxes.
that had them hood ass commercials. Like, I'm talking about hood grills, like hood as fuck commercials. Like, it's crazy.
That's what they do.
It's Montgomery though.
So, a pastor is under fire for saying that he wanted to eat Nicki Minaj's booty on Instagram. William Henry Dewberry III, mind you, which is a ridiculous name.
Dewberry. Right.
Apparently is an elder at the Church of God in Christ in Memphis. Now he acting like he ain't posted. He acting like somebody hacked his Instagram.
Pastor. Just cop. See what it is? I'm sure he thought Nicki Minaj get like 1 million comments under her pictures. Ain't nobody gonna notice mine in the midst of all of these. Because it is amazing that somebody like saw his, because you do get a lot of comments.
Yeah, somebody saw his, and you're not safe on the internet, y'all.
No, you're not.
You're
at
not
all.
safe. Mm-mm. Like, be careful what you posting out here, because people will find it, they will recognize you, and your career potentially be over.
And that's what happened with him. I think he thought he was safe because there was safety in numbers, in the number of posts she has, and there wasn't. Somebody saw him and put him on blast. Why is you, as a pastor, saying you would eat her booty anyway, sir?
Listen,
like, why is that something for you to
pastors
comment?
get hungry too.
I fucking hate you so much.
I'm just saying, why a pastor can't want a booty sandwich?
Because he's a pastor?
Or a booty cream cone?
Fuck.
I'm just saying.
Because he's a pastor, and that is not supposed to be what
but
he's
he
putting
is
out
a
here.
man before he is a pastor.
Is he a man before he's
Yes.
a pastor? That's
He
not how
wasn't
they.
born a pastor.
That is not how they display themselves in the church when he up here telling everybody else about their infidelities and shit.
Listen,
How they shouldn't be doing this
pastors
shit.
are men too. They are expected to sin and have indulgences and temptations.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be better at not indulging in the temptation.
But that's the beauty of having a forgiving system. He gets to say, God, I repent for talking about eating that booty.
God forgives, man does not. And like unless you what's his name? That had the boys and the body armor. Damn it. Everybody thought he had the package because he got real skinny.
Eddie Long.
Unless you him, them churches ain't. I mean, your church members might feel a little bit differently than Jesus do about this. Like Eddie Long got away with it, but I don't know that he will. He's not as well known.
I mean, he could have done this in a different context and been fine.
Such as
He could have found Sister Josephina out at Walmart and said, I'll eat your booty. And she would have been okay with it.
What? She had been okay.
Her husband just left her. Her kids ain't in the house no more. She don't have no contact. All she got is Jesus in her Bible. But her Bible don't do stuff like she wanted to, because it's a book and not a physical creature or a dildo.
You so
I wonder if it's a Bible dildo.
No.
Hold on.
Are you fucking Googling that right now?
Bible dildo, yeah.
Oh my God. This
What
is gonna
comes
be
up?
one of them episodes where the church people gonna crucify you in the comments.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
I don't want to know. I don't want to see.
First off, there's
I'm cool.
a dildo with a Pope head on it on the top.
Oh no.
We got a dildo that's a Jesus cross at the top, but a dildo on the bottom.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is ridiculous.
It is. What did you think you were gonna find?
It's a book. It's a book that looked like a Bible on the outside that you open it up, it's hollow, and it got spaces for your dildo and your anal plugs.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. This is interesting. It is a fleshlight Bible.
Oh,
It's a Bible with a hole in it where you can put your meat in it and do your thing. Okay. I mean, I didn't expect to find that. So Sister Josephina could have a Bible that give her some action, but I'm just saying she would prefer a man that would eat her booty over that.
Why does the man have to be the pastor?
Look, if that was the case, it wouldn't be a lot of pastors out here that had babies out there from women in the choir or in the congregation.
Touché.
Like,
That's so weird. Like, how do you? If a pastor was hitting on me, that shit would be weird as fuck. Matter of
didn't
fact,
the pastor hit on you?
and it was weird when I found out he was a pastor, and I ain't talked to that nigga since. So yes, and it was weird, and I have not talked to him because it was fucking weird. Why is you like? I know they can like get married and have a family. They're not priests, but I feel like it's just weird. It's just weird. I curse a lot. I curse a whole lot, and I'm not gonna not curse because you a pastor. Like, you need to find somebody that's not me.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're going off rail for a second.
Oh,
the 8 freakiest sex things in the Bible.
Oh my God.
It says, you also took the fine jewelry I gave you, the jewelry made of my gold and silver, and you made yourself male idols and engaged in prostitution with them. Supposed to be a dildo. Ezekiel 16:17.
That's probably Sodom and Gomorrah. Probably why they got turned to salt, because they were doing that shit.
I don't know. Women are the worst part too. If two men, a man and his countryman, are struggling together, and the wife of one comes near to deliver her husband from the hand of the one who is striking him, and puts out her hand and seizes his genitals, then you shall cut off her hand. You shall not show pity.
What?
So two dudes are fighting. One of them is her husband. If she comes to help her husband by grabbing the other dude's genitals, somebody supposed to cut her arm off. Oh my God. I ain't even gonna go no more.
No.
Needless to say, if you search Bible dildos,
Don't.
I just done fucked up my Google
You
history because
sure
like I
the
can't
fuck
even.
have. Yes, you have.
I feel like when I die and I go to the waiting room before you get to heaven, because I feel like if heaven exists, I feel like there's a waiting room in which you wait in, probably for like a long time, probably for like 50 years or something like that.
That's purgatory.
Like imagine
in
how
Catholic,
long.
in Catholicism, that would be purgatory.
Whatever it is, it's a waiting room, and you go into and God have a PowerPoint presentation set up that go through your life and all the bullshit you've done.
That's gonna be on your
Yes,
PowerPoint.
Bible dildo searching is gonna be. I mean, there's a lot of shit I done said in the podcast that's gonna be on there, but
Yes.
this is gonna be like it's gonna have a little asterisk next to it. Like, not only did you do it, but you had a dialogue about doing it and being here at this moment when you die.
Yeah.
And so this got an asterisk next to it because you knew better. That's what's gonna happen with that. Okay. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is pastors are men first. And you know what men like to do? They like to put their mouths on women. Now, I'm not going to say men like to eat booty because a lot of them don't. But eating booty does fall under the umbrella of putting your mouth on a woman. So some men like that. And some of them happen to be a pastor. Look, whoever that pastor get married to is going to get their groceries ate all the time in the name of Jesus.
I hate you so much. I have nothing to contribute to this conversation.
Okay. That wasn't really anything social justice related, but it was just really
No, he
interesting.
just likes to make me uncomfortable.
I do.
That's all that is. So Trump has bankrupted the Secret Service. He hasn't bankrupted them, but they are already at their yearly total in August because of all his family members and because of all these fucking trips he keep taking and the fact that he don't stay his ass at the White House. So the Secret Service has reached their max on the on payroll for the year, and we're in August.
Bro,
And even if they have an October 1, like at my job, you still 2 months out from that.
Bro, they getting overtime.
Yeah, pretty much.
Overtime.
Overtime. Because this y'all president though, this who y'all want. He cares so much about the American people, but you spending frivolous ass money. And the reason why his family members, like, ain't nobody else has put their family in all these positions, right? Because they wouldn't need all of this as much Secret Service protection were they not doing work for the government, because he didn't put them in fucking positions and shit. His daughter, his son-in-law. So yeah. He's bankrupted. Well, okay, that is not true. Mm-hmm. He had
lying on Trump. Fake news.
Oh my God.
Fake news.
They are facing a situation where they're gonna have to figure out what the fuck they're gonna pay these folks for the rest of the year. They're gonna have to reach into some reserves or some shit because they done ran out of money.
They done ran out of. So this amount of money was supposed to last them for
the year.
For the year?
Yeah.
Okay, so not 4 years.
No.
Not the whole presidency.
No, for this year. They do it by year. They like budget out money per year. And they didn't already reach their yearly amount.
Like, who stopped the president? Who stops the president?
What do you mean? Who stops him?
Like, who says, President, you can't go nowhere with your family, or...
I don't know. Secretary of the Treasury? I don't know. Who in charge of the money? Like, you need to sit your ass down. You traveling too. We ain't got no money to cover this shit. Whoever in charge of the money.
Damn.
They don't have enough money to make payroll. In an interview with Secret Service Director Ralph Tex Allies, it was revealed more than 1,000 agents have already hit the federally mandated caps for salary and overtime. Never mind, they ain't getting overtime allowances that were meant to last the entire year.
What is the Secret Service salary?
I don't know. I would imagine it's a lot if you got to try
Looking
to take
it
a
up.
bullet for somebody. It better be a lot.
It's about 100,000.
Okay. Better at least be 6 figures. You got to take a bullet for somebody.
How many agents do they have?
This say 1,000.
I was thinking, it's 1,000 Secret Service agents?
He said more than 1,000 agents have already hit the federally mandated caps. So yeah,
1,000. So what do they got to work for free from here on out?
I don't know, cause it's they
Or
didn't
the
hit the
federal
cap.
government got to
They gonna
increase.
have to go into a reserve something. I mean, them folks ain't gonna work for free.
I was finna say, Trump can use that money that he ain't taking for the presidency, but that ain't number like $400,000. That'll pay 4 of them. Like, damn. That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be no Secret Service agent. I wonder how much they get paid after they retire. Like after that president. Because, they stay with that president, right? Mm-hmm. I wonder if they still get paid that much.
Probably less because the danger is less. And they traveling less. They're not doing as much business for the country. Like, it's less, I would imagine.
I mean, but why would I continue that job if it's gonna be less and I can just go be a manager at Staples?
You ain't gonna make you're not gonna make what you making now at Staples.
Well, if you already make $100,000, what is less gonna be?
Could be if it's 75,000. That's gonna be hard to find in a civilian world.
Nah, man, a GM position at a Red Lobster will pay you that more than that. I know my GM almost getting 6 figures.
They are
She ain't
not
got it
gonna want to
already.
go from doing what they do to like managing a Red Lobster though. Like, I feel like I just don't think that's what they would want to do. I feel like they would want to continue doing that job, and it would be an easier job. You would get less money, but it would be an easier job once they ain't in office no more, because they're not traveling and shit as much as they do when they president.
Whatever.
My question is, what happened when the president died?
What happened when he died?
Where did those Secret Service men go? Do they just like cycle back around to the president, the current president, or?
I doubt it. I think the reason that they send them presidents with them is because they got so much information from that previous administration. I think it's other reasons why they let them
But
people
I'm
go with their
saying you
president.
can't. You gonna fire him because his president died? Like, what happens to them if the president dies?
They probably get some kind of restitution or something. Probably get a big lump sum. Sorry, your man died. Trump probably ain't gonna make it out of the office.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not the way he going.
I mean, I ain't even talking about like no assassination. He just old. He's 70. These
Yeah.
presidents look like they aged by about 20 years when
Yeah,
unless he gonna
those
look
are
like the
people-
damn Tales from the Crypt.
Those are people who give a fuck. I don't think Trump is under no stress. He just living his life. Like, I feel like Obama. Look, if you look at him from when he was in office and then 8 years later, he had a lot of stress because he gave a shit and he was trying to like work through. Trump don't care. He just this nigga still out here golfing and shit.
I think the opposite of what you think.
Really?
I think he's under more stress
Why?
from his psychological belief about himself, from his narcissism. I think that he's under more stress because he believes that people are being more unfair to him than any other president was thinking. I think that because he's narcissistic, because he thinks so highly and so valuable of himself, the fact that the news is saying stuff that he don't agree with, the fact that so many people on these polls are, he got the lowest numbers of all time, the fact that he ain't getting nothing completed and getting nothing done. I think the fact that he believes he should be doing these things is gonna stress him out way more than presidents that have actual realistic beliefs and understanding of how the political system works.
Maybe he ain't showing like Sean Spicer. Sean Spicer looked like he was stressed the fuck out. By the time he left, like he looked like it had been 4 years for him.
That's because they don't drugs test them cats. That man was snorting cocaine in the bathroom before he came off in them meetings.
Shit, you got to do what you got to do in the
Emotional-
Trump presidency. But I'm saying, like, the people around him look like they're aging and stressed out. Trump just look the same every time I see him. Like, he don't look like, I don't know. He just look like he's chilling. Because I feel like his narcissism won't allow him to believe. Like, he just feel like everybody being unfair. Everybody's being stupid. Like, it ain't him.
And I think that would lead to more stress than any other president, because other presidents they have stressful decisions to make, but Donald Trump has stressful decisions to make. He got the same decisions all the other presidents got to make, but he got unrealistic expectations.
I don't think he's stressed about the decisions though. Like Obama kept coming up with opposition from the Republicans. It was hard for him to get shit passed through. Like, he was having to sit in all of these caucuses with these folks and shit. And I feel like he was stressed out. I just feel like Trump just come in there and be like, look, this is what we need to do. Like, he just don't care. Like, I don't know. I don't see him stressing about the issue. I can see the stress that you're saying as far as like people not liking him. But him actually being stressed about the issues themselves, because he feel like everything is simple. This is the same man that was like, who knew healthcare was such a complicated issue?
But that's what I'm saying. I think his stress originates in different places than those issues. But I think they originate because he's in the position of the president. He don't care about those issues, so it might not cause stress. The stuff that caused him stress is stuff that other presidents didn't care about.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't care about polls. They didn't care about what the news was saying about him. They didn't care about all of this stuff that, you know, Donald Trump care about.
He's an idiot.
So he's not going to make it. That is my hypothesis. If Donald Trump continues carrying on the way he is,
people live long lives. Like, Donald Trump is like, he don't, you my mom told me that she thinks Kingston gonna live forever because he's so hateful and mean. Trump, one of them people where it's like, he gonna live forever just because people want him to die.
Kingston is just a dog.
He is. But
he don't understand the concepts of hateful and mean.
I don't know about that.
He don't.
He done done some shit before that on purpose because he was upset.
Mean he understand the concepts of being upset.
Dogs have emotions.
They have emotion, but they don't have an understanding of the concept of that.
He gotta have an understanding of the concept to be hateful and mean. He is mean. He mean to everybody, including my ass. And only reason he tolerate me, I feel, is because I feed him. Because there have been moments where he was tired of my shit too. So my mom was, because I was talking about how I wasn't gonna get another puppy, like Remy, because it's too fucking much. I don't want to do this shit again. And I was like, you know, when Kingston died, she was like, Kingston gonna outlive you and Remy. Because he's so mean.
You know, old dogs look real creepy. They like been to have one eyeball left and half of their teeth on the right side of their mouth gone.
Be white because they fur get gray. Yeah, Kingston's starting to get a little gray. He got some gray coming in.
You ain't finna be around here looking like no damn.
I mean, until he
zombie dog.
Until his health is set. Like, I'm not going. I don't think I would be one of these people who, because I'm so attached to him, will want him to be around in pain. If it gets to a point where he has conditions that he's in pain and it ain't no way to treat it, or ain't no way for me to treat it monetarily, I wouldn't like keep him around just for my sake. I would let him die with dignity. You know, I would let him go. No, but if he cool with his one eye and he ain't in no pain, he just gonna be walking around one eye.
Yeah.
My determination for the end of his life is gonna be how much pain he in, what his quality of life is. Cause I wouldn't want nobody to just have me linger on just cause it make them feel better. That's selfish as shit. I ain't gonna do that to him. If he in a lot of pain, I wouldn't want him to be in pain.
You gonna drown him?
No, I'm gonna take him to the vet and have him euthanized. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Choke him to death.
No, I'm not gonna murder him. I'm gonna take him and have him euthanized.
You should put some rat poison in a steak.
No, that's fucked up.
I'm just saying, it's gonna be delicious.
It's a painful way to die. Until that poison kick in and your stomach be all fucked up. What you talking about? No. The steak will be delicious until he start digesting the poison.
Well, give him a steak and club him in the back of the head.
Or I could just take it to the vet and euthanize.
Well, at least take him a steak to the vet too.
I'll give him his last meal before we go. I ain't gonna take it to the vet. Okay,
that's fair.
He'll have food before we go.
Not regular food.
No, I would give him something good. He don't get like for their birthday. I get them special stuff.
On Imager, it's a bunch of sad stories of people's last moments with their dog, where they like give them like just a plate full of hamburgers or just something that they like.
Yeah.
And then put them down like they spend the last day with. This is when you know that your dog got to be put to sleep or whatever. That junk be so sad.
It is sad. I'm not Kingston's 10, but his breed lives 16 to 18 years, so I got at least 6 more years with him. Well, 5 to 8, because he's gonna be 11 this year. So I don't want to think about it, but I have decided that when it comes to that point, I'm gonna be more concerned about his quality of life, and I wouldn't want him living in pain just so he still be around. Like, I wouldn't do that to him. Plus, Remy be getting on his damn nerves. So he be in pain and had this little bouncing ass dog around. Because Remy ain't going to calm down till he about 3 by breed standards.
Yep. You did it to yourself.
Well, you know what? That's not helpful.
It is what it is.
He got punked by a Doberman today, though. That was funny.
Well.
Shit, I would get punked by a Doberman too.
Yeah, Dobermans punk people.
Yeah. And it was a puppy, 5 months old. She's the same size as him. He 10 months old. She already his size. She gonna be a big ass dog. I saw her parents. Her owner had pictures because he paid $1,000 for this dog. Her parents were fucking huge. Like I ain't gonna have nothing in my house that big. Them dog. The mom and the dad was big as fuck. And like I said, she Remy size. She 5 months old. She already done grew that much.
That's horrible.
$1,000 for a dog?
Shit, it's like slavery.
Shit.
When dogs endowed with sentience and they fuck us up, we gonna know why.
Hell no.
Because we sold their ass, took their ass from their family, bred them to be big and strong. Sold them from their families, took them away, sent them around.
Yeah, but
just so we could put them on leashes.
But most of these dogs live better than you and me. Like, yes, they have to be on the leash when they walk. They lay around in soft beds and eat good food and like.
I mean, most is very subjective. I don't know.
A lot of them. A lot
of dogs out here being not cared for very well.
Because there's some shitty people out there. I think it's enough of them though. Like if they did gain sentience, like they've been treated good as shit. It ain't like with the slaves. They was taken away and treated horribly. They get taken away and get pillows and shit and get babied. And now the dog clothes. Everybody who put clothes on their dog probably gonna get fucked up. Because I feel like dogs hate that shit.
It's gonna be like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I don't think
it's gonna be Planet of the Pups. They're going to have one leader that rally them and make them believe that we evil. Exactly.
Kingston.
Yeah, that'll be a good Kingston.
Probably Kingston.
I am Kingston.
But see, you think you going to be okay if cats take over. I feel like I would be good if dogs take over. I got a long track record of being very nice to dogs. And if Kingston the leader,
don't know.
I've treated him well.
I don't know about that.
Other than bringing Remy, for 10 years it was good. I think he probably take a offense to Remy's presence. I feel like.
Murder.
Prior to that, though, it's a great 10 years for him.
So, clearly we know what's been going on with these damn monuments. The Charlottesville thing happened, and the catalyst for that was supposedly the monuments, but
which is bullshit because they ain't said not one goddamn thing about Lee. They were saying Jews will not replace us, white lives matter. Didn't nobody say shit about Lee, but
blood
I digress.
And soul, all these different things.
Nothing about Lee though, who was supposedly the whole reason for them.
Nothing about Robert E. Lee. Nope. But subsequently from that came the dialogue of what to do with all of these statues around the country. Now, in Alabama, as soon as the first Robert E. Lee statue came down a few years ago in Louisiana, I want to say, Alabama passed a law that it's illegal for any city to remove a Confederate monument. And so Birmingham was thinking about taking theirs down. They want Mayor Bell want to take it down, but they face a $25,000 fine per day. And so What they did was they plastic wrapped it and boarded it up. I guess, compromise,
Yep.
but clearly this is Alabama, so a lot of people don't get mad. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the history of those. What do you think? Do you think they should all be taken down?
I feel like if they're so important, I feel like they could be in museums, but like I don't really understand why they need to be up. Cause you can choose to look at them in a museum. Like we got a lot of schools named after Robert E. Lee. Like I done lived in 2 cities, and both cities that had a high school named Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, not again. Y'all don't follow me on or have my personal Facebook, but. I've never been to Germany, but I would imagine that there are no monuments to Hitler standing. And they haven't forgotten the Holocaust. That, like, everybody's saying, oh, you're trying to erase history. You don't remember shit because of a statue. Like, nobody in Germany has forgotten what the fuck happened. And they don't need no statues of this motherfucker to remember that shit. Like, I just don't think that that's necessary. I think that the place that they belong is in a museum. If in a history museum, I would be okay with that. But like, I don't understand why they have to be in the city, the center of town and shit.
So what about statues of like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, other people that own slaves? What about those statues? Where do you stand on those statues?
They own slaves, but I don't think that was their legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like. I mean, because like honestly, most any famous white folks before the abolition of slavery, you could make that argument against. You know what I'm saying? Most of them own slaves, so. But I don't think that was their legacy. People like Robert E. Lee because what he symbolized with the Civil War and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think Washington's his legacy was not him owning slaves.
Okay, so because that's what Trump alluded to. Mm-hmm. Now, after the whole Charlottesville thing, we didn't get to talk about this because it happened afterwards, but Donald Trump had a whole damn press conference that really shook the country up in terms of being able to support Trump. Because there is a time when you politic, there is a time to look at the other side and challenge what's going on the other side. But see, this was not one of those times. Nope. And when he did that, it made a lot of his supporters be like, what the fuck? Like, we've been taking up for him saying what he said on Saturday, the statement that he released on Saturday, and he come out here and the way that he really feel seems to support these other groups.
What everybody was saying about Saturday, yeah.
But I just want to talk a minute about the Confederate monuments. Did you see that Confederate monument that they pulled down? Did you see the video? Mm-hmm. You see when they pulled it down, how quickly it folded in on itself? Uh-huh. That's not what statues do. When you normally see statues fall, it fall right down and dig into the ground because it's solid. And so that goes into the history of these Confederate monuments. The Confederate War ended in 1865, right? Do you know that the peak of when they built those monuments was in like 1910? They started building them around Jim Crow era.
Okay.
So the Daughters of the Confederacy, which is the group that sponsor most of these monuments, which is the group that's trying to get this information taken out of these textbooks in Texas as it pertains to slavery and the civil rights movement, had all of these monuments mass produced during Jim Crow. They were meant to invalidate and intimidate the black community while they were trying to convince the black community they were less. And during this time is when they started the propaganda about Lee being a good Christian man and a man that was fighting for his rights and that was a patriot. That's about the same time that dialogue came about. That brought us to today, where we have so many people that are disconnected from the idea that Robert E. Lee's legacy has something to do with slavery, rather than Robert E. Lee's legacy having something to do with him being a good Christian man that was fighting on the right side of the state's rights, rather than for the federal government. And I just find it interesting looking at that history of how those statues were made based off of how quickly that cheap ass statue folded in on itself. It was saying that them statues costed about $40 to make back in the early 1900s. And they had a company that mass produced them so that they could put them up everywhere. And so it's a whole bunch of cheap Robert E. Lee statues all over the place. Like, they achieved what they were trying to achieve. And it's crazy how easily manipulated society is, because this shit ain't new. Ronald Reagan did this with the welfare queens dialogue. This is how black women got tagged, or black people in black families, but black women got tagged with the welfare, being that prime, this is what you think of when you think of a welfare recipient. It was propaganda. They put black women on TV with fur coats on and stuff, and they called them a welfare queen, acting as if they were using government funds to just be around in the hood wealthy.
Yeah.
Without knowing how much money they actually get, without knowing the statistics and the numbers of white people that are on these services, without knowing how little these things actually offer in the community. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. The Confederate flag.
It's just so funny to me.
The Confederate monuments.
Well, the monument, the flag too. But, you have these same white people that are like, oh no, leave the statues up. History. That are also like, you guys need to just get over slavery. Like, we need to just move on past that. You can't pick and choose. Like, you picking and choosing what history you want to talk about.
Like, if you get to revel in your history of a monument of a man that wanted to enslave black people, then black people can revel in the history of oppression in their country. And I've been in this Facebook group, and a lot of people, like, white, it's mostly white people, and they asked the question, a couple of them asked the question, why wasn't this a problem why is this just a problem when Trump is in office? And I'm like, nah, this has been a problem in the black community.
Yep.
It's just, I hate to say it like this, but every time black people bring something up, it's like crying wolf.
Yep.
It's like those are just, they just being argumentative. They always do. But I feel like the biggest problem with the Charlottesville thing is that Jewish people were brought into the mix. I feel like if this was only an issue as it pertained to black people, then it wouldn't have got as much feedback. But the fact that these were neo-Nazis and had swastikas, I think the biggest part of the group that had an outlash for this stuff is a lot of Jewish people.
In 2017, this motherfucker's walking down the street with swastika flags, like it's like Germany. It's just very surreal and sad. But
it brings out a lot of dialogue. And this guy on CNN, dang, I forgot his name, but he says a lot of extreme stuff that I agree with, but the way that he's saying it is harsh. But he says, like, it's really hard to call somebody a racist. This ain't exactly what he said, but I'm going to say it in my way. It's really hard to call somebody a racist, sometimes without what people say, without knowing their heart. I give that to you. But when somebody agrees with and implements policy that they know disproportionately affects a brown group of people, what conclusions are you supposed to come about? If voting ID laws, if we know that a large portion of the black community don't have IDs for whatever reason, and you pass laws that suppresses that group, and you support laws that suppresses that group, and you already knew before you suppressed and supported that law or passed that law that it will suppress that group, at what point do we say you racist? If you're talking about affirmative action, and you know for a fact that changing anything about affirmative action is going to lead to less jobs for black people, and you still support that and you still pass it, like, where is the line between your own self-interests and them impacting a subjugated community. Where is the line between that? To me, if you pass or support legislation that will impact a particular group, then if you're not racist, you support racist ideals. And that's a fine line to me of being considered racist. And so when you have Donald Trump out here, I don't know Donald Trump. I've been avoiding calling him a racist. But at the point that you support all of these different legislations that's going to disproportionately affect brown people, and you come out with dialogue that seems to support neo-Nazis, white supremacists, white nationalists, you're traveling down a fine line of being considered racist. I mean, I think the most difficult part about this dialogue is that a lot of white people are waiting for other racist white people to pull out a Klan's hood, put it on their head.
Shit, them motherfuckers that was marching didn't even have no hoods on. They had tiki torches.
Well, put
and
a swastika
khakis.
sticker on, scream out racist things, and then do stuff. And they be like, oh yeah, that's a racist. But the thing is, of all the people that we saw at that march, how many people who would have went didn't get a chance to go?
Yep.
And how many people believe those things but wouldn't have been bold enough to go? Like, we don't know the scope of how deep that river runs in America. A lot of white people want to believe that it's gone because you can't see it, because it ain't a cross burning in a yard anymore, because it ain't Jim Crow whites only anymore. You used to be able to see racism, and now it can only be experienced. But you know who never experienced the racism? White people.
Yeah.
And so now the only way a white person can see racism is through our shared experiences as black people, brown people. We got to sit there and tell a whole bunch of white people this stuff happened to us for us to say, y'all playing the race card. Bitch, they acting like the race card is the big joker. The race card is the fucking 3 of diamonds. It don't get you shit.
Nope.
It do not get you a book out here in life. Mm-mm. It gets you tagged as a racist by white people.
Yep.
Like, look, if we got the race card, y'all dealt the shit out. Y'all dealt that hand. Well, I want to throw this shit back. If you play spades, you know what I'm talking about? I'm going to throw this hand back. I ain't got no spades. And I got this race card, which means y'all done fucked me over.
Yep.
I wish I didn't have a race card to play, and I guarantee it ain't the big joker. I'm like, oh, you're playing the race card. Bitch, the race card ain't a draw 4.
Uno.
Yeah, the race card don't get you nothing. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. What you got next?
Dick Gregory, rest in peace. He passed away.
I was going to say that shit before this.
Yep.
I forgot.
He died, which is sad. He was a civil rights activist, comedian. If you don't know Dick Gregory, you need to learn who he was.
Look him up. Go look at his Breakfast Club interview, because he was putting Charlamagne the God down the whole time because he was being weird. And go check out some of his old videos. He pretty much got blackballed in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Nobody would let him perform and stuff like that because, you know, his activism was bold and unforgiving.
Yep.
And on a Facebook post that I was reading today of his death, it was a whole bunch of people under there talking about times that they had met him.
Yeah. It
was really eye-opening to all of the damn experiences that he had. Like, he got shot in the knee at a protest. Damn. He was with his Native American brothers and sisters for a protest they had in the 70s. Like,
oh yeah, he wasn't just a black activist. Like, he was an activist for just people. Yeah,
and I like that. One dude said he had met him on a train. He was working at a railroad. He met him on a train, and this dude and this kid came up to business class, and they weren't supposed to be there. And the dude went and respectfully told him to leave. Mm-hmm. And they got mad and said they were going to write a letter to the owner. And Dick Gregory gave him his card and told him, "You handled that finely, young man. If they give you any trouble, you tell your manager to call me." You know, like, it was just a bunch of stories like that of people had met him, and it was just good to read something like that. You know, when Bill Cosby died, his is not going to be like that.
Hell the fuck no.
His is not gonna be like that. So it's good, you know,
Yeah.
when somebody from the African American community passes on, and you can go into the comments and look at all of the positive stories about him.
It makes me sad. Like, we losing so many great people.
Well, the idea is that Dick Gregory helped a whole bunch of other great people grow into great people and emerge, and you know, maybe they just not here yet at the point where they're taking up the mantle of what he was.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm pretty sure that he sparked in a bunch of people that made them become something that we'll see one day.
That's all I had.
That's all you had?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. What else do I have?
I mean, Mary J. No, not Mary J. Some people want to replace one of the Robert E. Lee statues with Missy in Virginia.
Missy Elliott.
With Missy Elliott. I wonder, is it going to be like Fat Missy, Skinny Missy? Like, what era Missy? Is it I Can't Stand the Rain Missy?
I don't know.
I wonder what era Missy they would choose.
So they got an NFL blackout going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I really can't take credit for any part of that movement because I don't watch football.
I don't either.
I don't know if I should feel bad for having being a part of this fantasy football league.
I fucking hate football season. My timeline finna be full of, especially in Alabama. This Alabama Auburn shit just.
I'm good with it. I can go anywhere on Saturdays and Sundays and not worry about traffic.
You're right, because we posted up.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how serious Alabama football is, like, and what pissed me off, most of these motherfuckers ain't stepped foot on neither one of these campuses. It's not the people that went to Auburn, like, most of the time. Just sit your ass down. So, yeah, I don't participate in college or in professional football, so I can't participate in the blackout because didn't watch it.
Well, I don't watch football, and you know, I'm not the kind of person that would pretend like I'm supporting the cause when it's not something that would affect me anyway.
Yeah.
Now, if video game companies start doing some racist shit, I'm gonna have some dilemmas because I don't know. It depends on the game, I guess. But like
hilarious.
all these people that ain't finna buy Madden, I guess. Mm-hmm. Unless they regard it as not being beneficial to the NFL and only to EA Sports, but
don't they get a cut? EA have to pay the NFL to use the likeness.
Yeah, this is gonna be a real. Like, I feel like this is gonna be like, I don't know how long the blackout's supposed to go. Is it supposed to be until Colin Kaepernick get a job? Because otherwise, is it gonna be forever? Like,
probably till he get a job. Because the whole blackout started because of his treatment. So.
And I was in a meeting today at DHR, and it was some people over there talking about Colin Kaepernick, and they were really trying to avoid. I think because I was in the room, they were really trying to avoid talking about that national anthem stuff.
Look, I have a story. I haven't even told you this. I was intending to call you to tell you this. So I teach an anger management class, and this past week after the whole Virginia shit, you know, it's all black people. It's a bunch of black guys, a black woman, and a white dude. So they were talking about how, you know, how do you not be angry when you got stuff like this going on? And the white guy, I guess, decided he wanted to contribute. And now, and this is the first time I've had a situation where somebody was like racist as shit to my face. So he was like, you know, intelligent white people don't think that way. Intelligent white people don't get upset, you know, or don't dislike black people. Like, you know, that's not what we do. You know, I have black neighbors and we don't play that. We don't do that. You know, what we have an issue with is the Mexicans coming taking our jobs.
Damn.
And I was like, you know that's racist still, right? Like, just because you're not talking about us, does that mean that it's not racist? Like, you're still talking about a group of people based off of, like, it's still racist, sir. Like, and I feel like the only reason that you're even going to in a different group of people, it would have been us. Like, I feel like you only saying this because you in a room full of black folks. If it had been a room full of white folks, I just don't feel like his statement would have been the same. But just the idea that like, okay, so as long as I don't say nothing about black folks, they gonna be cool with it. And like everybody just kind of looked like, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah,
it was just crazy. Like and the ease with which he said it, like he wasn't uncomfortable. It wasn't like I wonder if they're gonna feel a kind of way. He really thought because he wasn't talking about black folks in that instant, we were just gonna be like, damn right, they're stealing all our jobs. Like you ain't. I wish white people would stop saying that. They're not. You're not gonna do the job. You're not finna go out here and do this hard labor shit. You're not gonna do it. It's not like they're taking a job that your ass won't anyway. The fuck up. But that just, the way that people think is amazing.
That's ridiculous.
So I don't know how long the blackout. Because I don't know if he's going to get a job. I don't know if this is,
That's what I'm saying. Like, are people willing to go the long ride for it? Or has there even been a definition of when this will stop? All those things where it'd be like, don't shop at Target, don't get gas, don't do all of this
and
stuff.
And it don't be enough people for it to make you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make a dent. So, of course, they're not going to change anything. Like, it's not enough people that don't shop at Target for it to fucking matter. And I don't know, how are we going to judge it? Is it going to be by empty stadiums once the season starts and these games are happening? Is that the determination? Or by low ratings for the viewing of the games? Like,
I don't think...
people can say, oh, I'm not going to support the NFL. But if you sitting at home watching it on game day...
There is 13% African American in this country. Take away the women, it is 7% African American men in this country. Considering that only 2 or 3% actually going to boycott the NFL, I just don't think it's going to be a lasting impression. And I think of that 1% might truly just say, fuck the NFL altogether, not going to watch it no more, don't really care. Football, I like it, but it's just, it don't have to come at the cost of my dignity and how I feel about my culture if they're going to treat people like that. I think it's some other stuff that's going to merge this season. Like, either this dialogue is going to be completely shut down because they're going to just stop talking about it because Marshawn Lynch sat down during the national anthem. And this was his first year back.
Yeah.
I think that it's a lot of people that's going to do that. Another player. Another player. I'm thinking about Madden. Another player sat down. He kneeled for the national anthem, and one of his white teammates stood by and put his arm on his shoulder like solidarity. Like, I think it's going to fizzle out being a dialogue because it was such a drastic dialogue with Colin Kaepernick. I don't think he's going to get a job, and I think they're going to stop caring about who do that or not. What they're going to do is they just going to consider black people to be whiny old black folks like they do, but if Jewish people start kneeling down during the national anthem, then it'll change.
I hate to be one of these people, but like, and then not to say that Colin Kaepernick's situation is not bad, but it's like being a woman in America sucks balls because these NFL players be whooping their wives' asses or whooping their girlfriend asses, and we find out about it, and they don't nobody boycott the NFL for that shit. Like, women just,
women.
We just don't matter. Shit. I mean, that happens a lot.
It's a lot of other things too. I mean, not to take away from the unfair treatment of women. I mean, that is what's coming with misogyny in our society.
No, that's my point, though. Like, again, not to take anything away from Colin Kaepernick, but like, I don't know.
I mean, like in the NFL, drugs will get you suspended for a year. Like smoking weed will get you suspended for a certain period of time. It's a lot of morality clauses stuff that they got. Nobody ever thought that somebody wouldn't kneel for the national anthem like that. This is new territory. Like they got rules to define what happens when you abuse people. It's stupid that those rules allow you to have your job back.
Yep.
Opposed to somebody who kneel for the national anthem that don't have their job back. But also look at how society treated Colin Kaepernick kneeling.
Mm-hmm.
They treated that shit like it was poison.
Yeah.
You know, they don't treat domestic violence like it's poison. Because this is a system by which men are the primary beneficiaries in this situation. They are the ones that's paying their money. And you know what? A lot of these fucking ego-driven pride and testosterone-ass men and put their hands on some woman. And they in the NFL, so they can be forgiving of a man who put his hands on a woman. Oh, they can't be forgiving of a man that won't support that flag.
Like, what?
That won't support the national anthem. That speaks out about oppression and things of that nature. It's problematic.
Being a black woman in America. Being black in America, but
well, I mean, like I said before,
woman.
Black women are on the bottom of the totem pole of bullshit ass treatment in our country. Black men right above that, and then probably Latino women, then Latino men, then Native women and men, then Asian men and women, then white men and women on the top. Like, but at the very bottom, it's black women. They deal with a lot of shit. And you know what? A lot of that shit come from black men.
Yeah.
I hate to see that. I mean, clearly, just a lot of negative treatment of women are going to come from men in general anyway. Mm-hmm. But, like, black men give black women a lot of shit. We need to switch that up. Like, I know I'm not going to give a black woman shit one day, and I'm going to treat a black woman the way that she want to and need to be treated. But I can only do that for one woman.
Yep.
You know, I wish I can somehow impact men to the degree that more of them do it. Maybe I will one day, somehow.
Yes.
Last thing I'm gonna mention, I'm not gonna go into it, but Steve Bannon is out at the White House.
It's like a temp agency in that motherfucker.
At first, I was thinking that it was because of this. I was thinking that Steve Bannon was the reason that Donald Trump responded the way that he did to Charlottesville.
Apparently not.
But it turns out that they had agreed for him to leave like on the 8th of this month. So this didn't have much to do with how he responded. Unless Bannon had him respond like that because he know he was on his way out. And he was like, well, we don't want to fuck the game up. But
Breitbart has been writing some fucked up shit about Trump since Bannon left.
That's what scares me. Like, what kind of information is Bannon going back to Breitbart with? Where this organization that caters to white nationalists, KKK, neo-Nazis, you know, whether you call Bannon that or not, we know that Breitbart caters to these groups. Even if it's not through saying, hey, neo-Nazis is great, or it's through making an article that negatively speaks about Jewish people. Mm-hmm. If it's not about the KKK, it's about making an article that talks about how inferior black people are because of some kind of scientific research. Like, they write articles that caters to the ideals and the beliefs of those groups. So I'm just wondering what kind of information is Bannon going back to that group with.
We gonna find out because it's gonna be splattered all over Breitbart in the coming
And you know,
months.
CNN, I bet CNN got a division right now that just go read Breitbart articles. They're going to find the bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming. It's definitely coming. Like, it's coming.
Well, you know, McMaster's is somebody that the alt-right targeted, and it was suspected by Trump that Bannon was giving them a lot of information that was coming out in some of the articles that about McMaster that was coming out, you know, to help them or whatever. But either way, Steve Bannon is out. It's good. He looked like he died like 4 years ago.
He's like a zombie.
Yeah. And
he looks like what real zombies would look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the movie version, but if the zombie apocalypse happened, I feel like motherfuckers would look like Steve Bannon.
They would.
He's like what a real zombie would look like.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. Anything else on your mind?
Nope.
All right. Well, until we come to the next conversation.
We out.
Holla.